A wonderful way to simplify much of what Frankl taught is to take Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's quick explanation that she gave to medical students. And it goes like this. If you draw a circle, that represents a person. And then she says, we have different aspects to ourselves. And she draws a diagonal line across the circle. Now she has two halves. And then she draws another diagonal line at 90-degree angles. And now she has four quadrants. And she says medicine deals with the lower quadrant, primarily the body, the soma. And psychiatry deals with the one on the left. We can call it the mental. And the quadrant on the right, we can call it the emotional. So every one of us can identify, we have a mental part and we have an emotional aspect. And so psychiatry primarily deals with these two aspects of ourself. And then she says, but there is another part to us. And she says, now I heard her giving this explanation in Zurich when she went back to talk about what it's like to be a psychiatrist in New York. And she says, now, in Switzerland, everybody knows we not only have a body, and we also have this mental, emotional part, and we have a spirit. But she says, I'm in New York. If I call this upper quadrant a spirit, I'll be accused of teaching theology instead of psychiatry. So what do I call it? I don't know. So she says, she looks around this audience, and it's filled. There are hundreds of medical students there, and she says, did anybody here ever have an intuitive flash, a know-how, an inner directive? And a few hands go up. Oh, you did. Okay, let's call this quadrant the intuitive quadrant. Now, this is the quadrant Frankl calls the noetic quadrant, or the noetic part of us. So he too talks about soma, psyche, nous, body, psyche. The Greek word psyche actually stands for soul, and nous would be spirit. And so, how do we function? We function best when all four quadrants, where they come together at the core. Whenever we develop a means, a way to get centered, and we're not going to do it if we're forever busy out there. We have to find time and space to go within, to feel, I know where I am, I know who I am. I have all these quadrants. For some, the mental will be more developed. For others, the emotional. For some, the body. But when we are in our center, we can choose our response. And then it comes from deeper within, and we mean what we say, and we act accordingly. And then we are being true to ourselves, and we're authentic to others. And so that would be almost a prerequisite for all of us to find time and space daily to center ourselves. And then we deal differently with stresses that come along. In other words, inner peace.